Hey everyone, so today I have kind of an interesting lock. This is an Abus Wavyline, Wavyline Pro to be exact, but you can see the key is really interesting. It's wavy, I guess. It doesn't look like it has traditional bitting with the flat cuts on it. It's kind of smoothly cut. I'm not sure why in particular it is done that way, but that's how it is. You'll notice that in addition to the top bitting, you can see right here, there's also some dimples that are going to interact with some pieces of this lock. So it's got an interesting keyway here. You can see right there. And when the lock fits in, you're going to get the bitting interacting with the top stacks, and then those dimples are going to match up right here with 4 ball bearings, which you can see in there. And those ball bearings, I believe, are held in by this crimped bar here, so they do not come out. They're stuck in there. So when I get this, you're going to see that those don't come out there. So there was a hole right here that had a giant ball bearing in it that I believe was just drill protection. So that's also part of this. The top stacks on this lock, despite having this, weird smooth cut, are really nothing super special. It's regular key pins there. And I've got 2 of these standard drivers in it. I've got 2 spools. You can see one right there. And then 2 of the drivers had these milled ends, so that you would have to probably lift them and then lift them one more time to get them set. Weirdly, the drivers did not feel super interactive. I don't think I had to counter rotate when I picked this at all, so I'm not sure what was going on with the spools. I'll measure it just in a second and see if they were supposed to be interactive. And then some of the key pins you can see also have these milled tops here, which is kind of an interesting feature, but didn't seem like it was that interactive or difficult to deal with. So you're going to see this just like that. So that's one of the key pins sitting in there. And then you can see this driver does not interact at all. So that's probably part of the issue there. I wonder if the other one does, because it's a shorter pin. Let me just check that real quick. Yep, still not interactive. So that would be why maybe this was not so difficult. On these side pins, on these side pins, so there's 2 parts to this. This is the driver part of the side pin. It's pointed, that pointed end fits into the Bible, and then that slanted end is what's facing down to the chamber, because they're off to the side, so they have to be slanted to allow the plug to rotate past them. And then this is the key pin part of it. So you can see it's got some interesting features here. The top again is milled. It's cut at an angle to allow it to rotate in the chamber, because again it's off to the side. I'm not sure what the milling up here does. I would assume that's some kind of security feature, but it didn't feel like it did much of anything. And then these ridges in the middle, I'm also not sure what those are for. These pins on the side here, like, they literally barely move. So there it is at rest. You can see it's just below the shear line, and then when you insert the key, it pops up just a tiny little bit, but then it's flush. So because those are controlled by the bearings in the side, you kind of just have to tap the bearing a little bit to get those to lift to the right height. And I think 2 of these are actually 0 lift. Maybe? Looks like that's the, well, maybe not. That's the bearings at rest. I guess they all get pushed a little bit. So, I don't know. It's a weirdly complicated mechanism. You know, you've got 10 pins in here. You've got the ball bearings being held in by that bar on the side. You've got all these security drivers in it. This thing was not hard to pick though. So for everything that's going on in here, it seems like it should be a complicated lock, difficult to pick, but it really was not. So I feel like the sum of it was, the total was less than the sum of its parts. I'm not sure if that's the right way to say it, but yeah, for having 10 pins, all these security drivers, ball bearings and whatnot, I mean, this thing, it only took me maybe 15 minutes to figure it out the first time, and you'll see when I get it picked here on video, it only takes me a minute or two. So that's it. Nothing special in the plug. You can see all the springs are in there still. There's a 5th hole on the side. I'm not sure what that is for. Might be, whoops, might be someplace to put drill protection. I'm not really positive. But there's only 4 side pins, and there's only 4 places milled on the plug, so I'm not sure why there's 5 available in the Bible, but that's a mystery for another day. All right, there you go. Again, it's an Abus Wavyline Pro. Okay, here's my Abus Wavyline. And I am picking this Euro style, so this is how the lock would normally be oriented in a door if it was installed. For whatever reason, it just felt better to pick it this way. I normally pick Euro locks upside down. It may have to do with the tensioner placement. To be honest, the first pin in this lock is really close to the front, and I couldn't get a tensioner in here, so I was having to tension from this end. But it feels better for me to have the tensioner at the top. All right, there we go. Not too bad at all. All right, let's get this gutted here. There's a a ball bearing that's going to fall out of here. I think it's right on this side. Oh, I kept it in. I think that's just drill protection right there. Okay. This last one doesn't want to come out. There we go. Okay, so you can see the ball bearings in there. I don't know if those, you know what, they might come out. Let me see here. I'm not sure how to get those out. They may be held in. I don't think this comes out. This is crimped in, and I think maybe the ball bearings are placed inside, and this is put in, and so that holds them in place. All right, well, there are your key pins. Let's do the drivers next. Whoops. Okay, you go with that. You go with that. Trying to keep all this organized here. There's a view inside there. I don't think I'm going to take the springs out. Interestingly, there's 5 spots for these side pins, but this one only had 4. All right, and here's a view of all your pins here. So you can see there's a couple of security pins in there. 2 spools. This thing is kind of, oh, it's got some tapered ends there. 2 of those, and 2 standards. And these side pins, nothing in particular special about those. They do have some milling on these. I think that's for overset traps, perhaps. There. All right, all gutted. That is an Abus Wavyline.